My girlfriend said she'll break up with me if I don't man up and find a real job, even though I make 3 times more than she does. For the last 3 days, I have been thinking about the conversation I had with my girlfriend and I don't know what to do. I cannot tell this to my friends or my family because they are not really fond of my girlfriend and I already know what they're going to say and I need objectivity. I should begin with giving a little bit background information on what I do and about myself. After my freshman year of high school, I was sent to live with my grandfather's brother, who had recently diagnosed with stage 5 chronic kidney disease. My uncles were living abroad, my parents were working and my grandmother was taking care of my grandfather, who was constantly sick and was too emotional to look after my granduncle, and I took the responsibility because he was family and we take care of each other in my family. My granduncle had lost his wife and son in a car accident in 1990s and had been alone ever since, although he used to come to family gatherings. He worked as a crane operator in the Far East and invested nearly all his money in our home country and had a small fortune by the time he passed away. I stayed in the city he lived in, where he and his family used to live, and he refused to move to our city despite our pleas, during the rest of my high school years and studied college there. I grew up so much there and I learned so much from him, and he used to describe me to people by saying, "He is like my son." After college, he urged me to go back to the city my parents lived, and start my life there because there were more opportunities there and that he could find a nurse for himself. I was 22 at the time I moved back into the city and into my own place. It's around this time my girlfriend's mandatory service in the East as a doctor, neonatologist, had ended and she returned back to the city. We were first introduced in a housewarming party of a mutual friend and then run into each other in a coffee shop, and we have been inseparable ever since. I started working as a translator for a TV network, as a freelance writer for foreign news outlets, and I would also give private lessons to elementary school students. One of my uncle is child-free and is against relationships, and he would send me money every month. All in all, I was in a very comfortable place financially. About 1.5 years into our relationship, my granduncle died and I inherited nearly all his wealth, including all his assets and most of his money, except for a small amount he left for the nurse that took care of him after I had left. Later I learned that my uncles and my father advised him to do so because they all trusted me to keep the family comfortable and use the money smartly, and my uncle even told me that I deserved it for being there for him when he needed someone. I invested the money smartly and rented most of the houses. I also kept my job as a translator and a free agent writer, but I stopped working as a private teacher. A friend of mine wanted to move his textile business to a bigger place and offered me to be his partner, which I accepted in a heartbeat because it was a great opportunity. I have been traveling and talking to our clients and making the deals, and that's basically all I do. So I have been working at most 2 to 3 hours a day for the last 2 years, and I have been focusing on improving myself intellectually and physically, and I spend more time with my family and friends. All in all, I make more than 3 times that of my girlfriend. I thought she was happy with my life choices and I thought she got my back, but it turns out she really despises my work life and wants me to get a desk job somewhere other than my firm because that would not be fair. She says I need to be a responsible adult and show our future kids a proper work ethic, and she says I have been immature and a man-child. I tried to reason to her that I was spending more time on myself and I get to do things that I couldn't in the past regarding reading, studying different topics, languages and working out. I had an accident in the past, so I had to stop working out. But now that I have the time I want to do that. When I told her this, she told me that muscles don't make me a man and told me to either man up and find a real job or she is leaving me. I really don't want to find a 9-to-5 desk job. I didn't want to do that even before I got my inheritance. That's why I was working from home as a translator/writer. I don't want to break up with her because I love this woman so much and I look up to her and admire her. I cannot talk this with any of my family members as they all still hold a grudge against her for a thing happened 3 years ago, and my friends are, I sense, not fond of her either. They don't know what she means to me. I don't know what to do anymore. How do I navigate through this? I tried talking to her again, but she straight up told me to give her an answer and she has been giving me the silent treatment. Please help. Comment, sounds like she is jealous because she wants the time to do all that and wishes she was able to without feeling belittled by your success. Did you ever consider letting her kick it back too? Is she still working? OP, she is still working. Someone also said a similar thing. I'll definitely tell her that I would support her if she decides to quit working. Update. I want to start by thanking everyone who commented on my post and those of you who texted me. I read each and every single reply and comment, and you guys really helped me navigate my way through this. I first tried looking at things from her perspective and how my inheritance and fortunates may have affected her. I don't really have a luxurious life. I live in a small apartment and I don't even have a car. I use public transportation, but I realize that I am more than lucky to be in this position. And since she has never seen me work, as I made sure to focus on her when we are together, I decided to ask her to come with me to my next business trip, so that she may see me working. If not, then I at the very least, wanted her to take a day off and just observe me. The overwhelming majority of the comments were telling me to break up with her. I didn't want to break up, but I tried to prepare myself for it. In short, I was hoping for the best. I was prepared for the worst. She came to our apartment this afternoon, as she was staying over at her sister's house, and we sat down and started talking immediately. I said everything I mentioned above and proposed her that we can also go to counseling. She told me that her going with me to a business trip would only strengthen her previous opinion and that she didn't think it was a good idea, and she said she was too tired for counseling. I told her that I wasn't going to throw away my life over an issue we could fix if we just tried to solve it. She then told me that she was too tired to be with me and she was unhappy in our relationship and that I was too unpredictable, and that she told me that if I ever decided to pursue another girl somewhere else, she wouldn't know it until I leave her for the new girl. All of these were extremely hard to hear for me. She then asked me one more time to settle down and find a new job and then we can take our relationship further. I told her I didn't want this and that I thought it would be best if we went our separate ways. This is not my first heartbreak and I don't think it will be the last, so I think I'm going to manage the breakup just fine. But there is this feeling inside me that I can't seem to shake off. Like I'm now alright, but I just feel numb. My heart still pounds fast with what happened, but I am not panicking or anything like that. She will return tomorrow to get her things to her sister's house and I will go no contact after that. Thank you guys again for giving me your thoughts and opinion.